Good evening, everybody, and welcome to my class. Today I'll be talking about what law enforcement did well and what they did not do so well during the tragic event of the Boston Marathon bombing. Our nation is one of the strongest in the world in spite of radical organizations' attack on the government and its people. The United States will prevail against any terrorist organization, and society will continue to prosper. A little bit about me. I'm retired military with over 24 years of military service. I have 6 years experience in law enforcement where I cover down on 3 counties. I have 10 years experience in the security industry. I currently have a master's degree in business administration. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and I'm currently completing my second bachelor's degree in Homeland Security and Public Safety with Herzing University. I've also, for my undergraduate degrees, made the Honors Society and the Dean's List as well. The Boston Marathon bombing caused a unification of people from all agencies to respond to the terrorist attack. However, the local law enforcement entity performed exemplary during this time frame. The distinguishing between things done well and not so well is vital for being prepared for possible attacks in the future. Overall, law enforcement was quite successful during this tragic event. And I say that because of things such as the joint unification of agencies. There were strong relationships developed amongst agencies during this time frame. There was also mutual support as well. The agencies backed each other with individual and collective tasks during this time frame. There was effective communications amongst the key leaders as well within these different agencies. Another area that we can look at that contributed to the success of the local law enforcement entity was the emergency care preparation. The medical system that was put in place for the event did a good job for as the a triage for the injured and the mass casualty collection point for transporting the injured from the location to the local hospital. And what happened there, this allowed for transportation to arrive 50 minutes or less at the hospital, and lives was saved because of this small time frame in between the match casualty point and the getting to the hospital. But as we know, with everything that goes exceptionally well, uh, there still is areas for improvement, regardless of what it is. There's always going to be areas that could use improvement, or that may be lacking uh, for whatever reasons. Um, the lack of safety and emergency planning for the day of the event is one of those areas where law enforcement needed work on or did not seem to do so well on. Lack of enhanced security. What happened there was a lack of coordination and mutual aid amongst the agencies involved in the Boston Marathon bombing event. There was no roles assigned, no Pacific roles assigned to the different personnel. There was no command. There on the ground, when you don't have that command, then people are left to make decisions on their own, and sometimes with lack of training and experience, the right decisions may not be made at that time. So that's an area that law enforcement lacked in during the Boston Marathon tragic event. Another area that they lacked in as well, and that could have been improved, was no integrated security plan initiative. Um, and what that entails is that in locations where organizations came together, things happen. Say, for instance, in Watertown, where the car was carjacked, and there was a shootout amongst the law enforcement agencies and the two suspects. There was multiple law enforcement agencies on the scene firing against the two suspects. There was no weapon discipline. There was no ammunition conservation. And the reason being, another reason being behind that weapon discipline being lost, there was no information center set up. So if there's no information center, there's no control of those agencies at that time, and there's a tendency for it to get out of control. A nation such as the United States must have robust disaster plans created by the government for the safety of its people. Our first responders did an exceptional job of collaboration amongst agencies in saving lives on this day. We must not forget that these attacks will probably repeat themselves in the near future. But the government agencies can improve on preventing these types of attacks by concentrating on planning efforts for each individual day of any event. The United States is a very strong nation, but unfortunately, with it comes the price at the expense of terrorist organization. This concludes my class, and I would like to thank each and every one of you for attending, and I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors. Thank you.